Imagine you're at a casino. You pull the lever. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. You can't predict when. And that unpredictability, that's exactly what keeps you pulling. Now look at your phone. Every time you open Instagram, sometimes there's a photo that surprises you. Sometimes a message you weren't expecting. Sometimes nothing interesting at all. You can't predict what you'll find. And your brain can't stop looking. This isn't an accident. Your phone was designed this way. And the mechanism behind it is one of the most powerful conditioning tools ever discovered in behavioral science. Most people think they scroll because they're bored, or because they want to stay connected, or because the content is interesting. But that's not the real driver. The real driver is a reward system in your brain that responds not to pleasure itself, but to the unpredictability of pleasure. The dopamine system doesn't just fire when you get something good. It fires hardest when you might get something good and you don't know when. This is the brain you inherited. It evolved to seek food, find mates, detect danger, unpredictable rewards. A fruit tree that sometimes has fruit, sometimes doesn't, kept your ancestors scanning, searching, persisting. The ones who stopped looking died. The ones who kept pulling the lever survived. You are the descendant of the ones who kept pulling the lever. In the 1950s, psychologist B.F. Skinner ran a series of experiments with rats and pigeons. He found that when rewards were delivered on a variable ratio schedule, meaning the animal couldn't predict when the reward would come, the behavior became almost impossible to extinguish. The animal would press the lever far more compulsively than when rewards were delivered consistently. Skinner called this variable ratio reinforcement. It is the most powerful schedule of behavioral conditioning ever documented. Casino designers learned from Skinner. They built slot machines on exactly this principle. Unpredictable, intermittent rewards. Not just money, sounds, lights, near misses. Every pull might be the jackpot. The brain can't stop. Natasha Dow-Schul, a cultural anthropologist at MIT, spent years inside Las Vegas casinos studying gambling addiction. In her 2012 book, Addiction by Design, she documented how slot machine interfaces were scientifically engineered to maximize the variable ratio effect, down to the milliseconds of the spin animation. The same behavioral scientists who consulted for casinos later consulted for tech companies. The infinite scroll, which removes the natural stopping point of a page end, was invented explicitly to keep the dopamine loop running. The red notification badge triggers anticipation before you even open the app. The unpredictable mix of content in your feed, funny, sad, outrageous, inspiring, is calibrated to sustain the seeking behavior. This is not speculation. Former product designers at companies like Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat have publicly stated this in interviews and congressional testimony. The persuasive technology movement explicitly draws from Skinner's variable ratio work. Understanding this mechanism changes how you relate to it. You're not weak. You're not addicted because you lack willpower. You are responding to a system that was scientifically engineered to override your self-regulation. That means the solution isn't to try harder. It's to interrupt the mechanism. 3 practical changes. 1. Remove the trigger before the urge fires. The dopamine-seeking loop requires an external cue to start. Phone in another room. App deleted from home screen. Notifications sound off. The cue can't activate a loop that never starts. 2. Replace unpredictability with structure. Scheduled check-in times, twice a day, 15 minutes, replace the infinite unpredictable access. Your brain adapts. The urge weakens when the reward becomes predictable and bounded. 3. Notice the difference between wanting and enjoying. The slot machine creates the desire to pull, but the pull itself rarely delivers satisfaction. Most people feel worse after scrolling, not better. Start tracking that gap. It loosens the machine's grip. Your phone is not just a tool, it's a behavioral environment. And it was built by people who understood your dopamine system better than you did when you downloaded the app. The slot machine metaphor isn't poetic, it's structural. The same mechanism, the same lever, the same variable ratio schedule. The difference is, now you know. And knowing changes what you do with the lever. If this changed how you see your phone, even slightly, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Follow the channel for neuro tips every week. Thank you for staying until the end. Your time is valuable, and I genuinely hope this was worth it. If this video left you with something, a thought, a shift, a question you didn't have before, a like helps it reach someone else who might need it too. And if you want to keep going, subscribe and turn on notifications. See you in the next one.